My name is Marcus. If you've been in some Facebook groups in the last couple of years, you've probably seen me interact with the groups. My wife and I started reselling on Amazon at the beginning of 2019. So that makes us a little over 4 years we've been selling on Amazon. It started as working 9 to 5 and Amazon on the side. Eventually it got to be our full-time income, both of us. So this will be our second year where we'll surpass $2 million annually. And as you can see, we have sold a little over $5 million overall. This series is going to be over some groups and places where you can learn from other resellers and mentors. So this review is going to be over Hustle Buddies, and we'll go through why I am doing Hustle Buddies first. It is very broad and very good for the beginner sellers. Just a template, table of contents of what we're going to discuss on this little video. Why I am making this series. It takes a lot of time to do this type of stuff. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and just the last couple of weeks have really pushed me to start making videos, at least a couple of them, to help you all out. Personal disclaimer regarding me and Hustle Buddies, overview of Hustle Buddies, our personal experience with Hustle Buddies, and then how Hustle Buddies has then changed our business. Want to go into who is Hustle Buddies for. And also, as always, I'm pretty open. The downsides that I have heard of Hustle Buddies. So why? Basically, it all comes down to there are too many creators that are selling stuff, courses, that are encouraging rule breaking. I cannot tell you how many times I have seen sellers come into groups and say they got suspended, or say, what happened? They say, well, I did XXX or X, Y, and Z or whatever. Or like, why did you do that? That is against the rules. Well, creator so-and-so told me it's part of his course. I bought the course and it said to do this. Drop shipping is one. Drop shipping is against the rules. You'll get banned unless you are following the rules for drop shipping, which most people do not, especially everybody that sells the courses. So there are so many people out there that will just say you can make $1,000 overnight or $2,000 doing this, or go to Walmart and buy something and drop ship it, or it's easy money. And all. Basically what I want to do is provide a platform through this series and highlight some of the good content creators that you can learn from, that will be honest and help you from getting your account suspended. I was in a group a few years ago that they encouraged rule breaking because they never got caught. They thought it was perfectly fine. They've heard people getting suspended. But while I was in that group for about 2 or 3 months, there was 2 people that followed her advice of going to garage sales, buying stuff, selling it on Amazon, and then Amazon asked for receipts. They didn't have receipts. Their account got shut down. When they came back to the group saying, hey, I'm suspended, what can I do about this? Nothing. The group leader said nothing. She was perfectly fine for that person to go out of business, lose all their money. And she was happy to find the next customer that would pay them $1,500 a month for the course. There are a lot of content creators that go by that, just kind of in and out. They know it's only a matter of time before some people get suspended or quit, and they'll just find some new ones. So another goal for this is I want to help you achieve what my wife and I have done through reselling. As I discussed earlier, I started working a 9 to 5, and then this on the side. A lot of hours, 30, 40 hours a week. But we eventually grew the business to where it could provide for both of us, for the family as a whole, as a main source of income. I do want to say the numbers you saw on screen one, where it said that we had over $1 million profits, that is $1 million profits after returns, but it does not count all the extra costs, manpower, groups, courses, all that stuff. So I can do another video. I'll do another video here in the next month or so about our profits. I think it's about 600,000, give or take. But that 1 million you see, as always, content creators always are showing crazy numbers, but then they don't show all the extra costs and stuff. I think our end is like $600,000 profit after all the extra costs and stuff. Disclaimer: I am doing this separate of Hustle Buddies. Nate doesn't even know I'm creating this. I'm not getting paid or compensated for this video. As you will see, I will talk highly of Hustle Buddies, as well as pretty much everybody else that I have outlined on slide number 1 that I plan on talking about in the future. No one is paying me for this. I don't want to get paid for these. At the time of these, I want these to be honest things, not something to sell you on. With that said, I am now a mod in the Hustle Buddies group. I think that's pretty irrelevant with everything I will talk about. I got mod in 2022, and I've not did super much stuff in the last 6 months or so on the main Hustle Buddies group. But I did want to say that because I want to be open and apparent, or open and honest with you all. Overview of Hustle Buddies. It is for resellers, mostly on Amazon, that sell through OA, which is online arbitrage, RA, which is retail arbitrage, and wholesale. But mostly OA and RA. There's a little bit of wholesale. They don't really do anything. They don't really talk much about private label. That would be other groups. The platforms for Hustle Buddies is the Facebook group. There is a YouTube. And also there's classes. I will go over those in a bit and show you kind of where they are. So our experience with Hustle Buddies. We joined in the fall of 2020. So we had already been selling for about 20 months, give or take. Before then, I learned through YouTube a bunch of different courses, or free YouTube videos, I should say, and a couple of courses by some of the people that were on my main slide. Beard Picker, the Rockstar Flipper a little bit, Rally Roots, but nobody really focused on Amazon and FBA. So once I found Hustle Buddies in the fall of 2020, it was a relief. Nate did a really good job of teaching how to grow the business and expand the business. And really just, it's a lot of good information. And most of it is for free, if you're willing to scrape through or go through the Facebook group and YouTube videos, which to that point, I think I'd only spent maybe $40 or $80 on training and courses. And at that time, I think we were doing maybe $30,000 to $40,000 in revenue a month. So our training and paid courses were like next to nothing compared to where we got there. We got into Hustle Buddies. I still didn't pay any courses, but even since I didn't pay courses, we started to see a growth. So I quickly found I've been growing through groups and shady groups for about 1.5 years now. And finally found a group of resellers that knew what they were doing, that wanted to help, and had a lot of information that really helped me. Even though I'd been doing $20,000, $30,000 a month, it's like, holy cow, we've been doing this the hard way from day one. So that just let us grow quite a bit. And then in the spring of 2022, Nate reached out to me and asked if I wanted to be a mod in the group, with me wanting to always help And with me already being in the group already so much active, I agreed. I'm not in there too much anymore. As you see, we are going to be selling a little over $2 million again this year. And we don't have a warehouse. We do have a couple of employees, but I'm doing a lot of hands-on work on every process, every step. So I'm not able to spend hours and hours in groups like sometimes I used to do. So how has everybody's changed our business? So the Facebook group, I guess I'll go through these real quick. The Facebook group is right here. It's got 61,000 members. You do have to ask to join. There are a lot of spammers and scammers and bad people that are always trying to get in. Sometimes they occasionally do get in, but it is private to limit that amount of those people that are getting in. But basically, just ask a couple questions. You answer them, just basically saying how your business is, when you started, and all that stuff, and you're let in by Nathan. I think about once every day or once every couple of days, he'll let people in that have asked. I'm not going to go through this too much anymore, but here's the Hustle Buddies Facebook group, 61,000 people in it right now. Private, you do have to ask to be joined in, but everybody can join as long as you're not a scammer or spammer and haven't been kicked out previously. So the Hustle Buddies group is good. The Facebook group, it's amazing because there's 60,000 people on it, but there's probably at any one time there's a couple hundred posting every week or so. And sometimes they will ask very good questions that you never even really thought of. And they're like, oh, wow, would be really good for me to implement. Or, hey, I got in trouble on Amazon for doing XYZ or whatever, for selling LOL Surprise or some random brand. You're like, oh, maybe I should watch out for that brand and maybe not sell it. Or a bunch of different stuff like that. So the next is the Hustle Buddies YouTube. And that is this one right here. Hustle Buddies Official. It's 30,000, Nate and his wife. And I have not watched many of the last ones. But there are a couple of them that have been very, very, very helpful. There's one, that one is good, about getting to know relationships with your people who you do business with, like even local Walmart and Kohl's and stuff. I don't know. There's one where he talks about and goes through how to list and pack on Amazon. This might be it. I don't know. But a lot of his older stuff is very, very, very useful. In 2020, when we joined Hustle Buddies and was looking through it, he had quite a bit of stuff that was very, very helpful. That one's a good one too. That's how we have found Hustle Buddies. It talks about him and his wife, how they started. Unfortunately, I can't find the one unless it is that one earlier. Maybe it's this one. It's this one. So my wife and I we didn't used to use Inventory Lab to ship. And on top of that, she would be at the computer. I would tell her the MSKU. She would type in the MSKU and say how many there were and all that stuff. But this is how we found that we could use a scanner and scan the MSKU, and it would automatically add it in through Inventory Lab. We were spending 5, 6, 7 hours shipping a few hundred units out every week because it would just take that long, like one at a time. Go to the computer, put it in. This week, we can ship out 1,000 units, 1,200 units in 2 hours, 3 hours now. So there's very, very many good YouTube videos by Nate on YouTube, and they're all free. The same with this Facebook group. It's all free. Now, going into the courses, I will always say, never buy courses unless you have money sitting. Your money is always spent better on inventory than it is in courses. I will go through a YouTube video on that eventually, showing why that is. So if you have only $2,000, it's better to spend it on inventory than courses. But if you've got $2,000 or $5,000 and you can't spend $2,000 because you don't know, you can't find any profitable inventory, then it may be worth it to spend $100 or $400 to buy a course to help you get better at sourcing. I will go over a couple of these. I don't think I really watched the grocery deep dive. Maybe the first couple of minutes, but not much. The Kohl's flipping masterclass. This is a great one. I did this one end of 2020, I believe. And 2021, we shopped. Our main store was Kohl's. We would about twice a month. This is when I was working at Baker Hughes or working my 9 to 5, 9 to 4. Twice a month, we would go and shop Kohl's. So we'd go to Kansas City one weekend. We'd stay the night and we would spend $10,000, $12,000 amongst the 3 Kohl's in Kansas City. And then we would come home, and then the next weekend we would go to Tulsa or Oklahoma City or somewhere and shop for, and we were spending $30,000 some months on Kohl's clearance. And this is a very, very good training course on the brands and how to do it and stuff like that. It's not quick. My wife and I would spend, each of us would spend about 3 hours on the Kohl's. We'd go into a Kohl's and stay there 3 hours. But we would typically spend $2,000 to $5,000 in each store. I think our highest, we had 4 stores where we spent over $5,000, but we never spent over $6,000 in a store. So this one's really good. The Replan Workshop, I've watched a little bit of that one. It's good. And then I'm not doing any of those. There's also a Q4 group that he may redo in Q4, give you access to the 2021 Q4 group, I think it is, or 2020 Q4 group, whatever it is. And that one actually is really, really good. It will be old, but most of the information is good year to year about getting your accountant ready or getting your account ready health-wise, getting your cash flow and all that stuff ready for Q4 and what to expect to sell through and what sells, all that stuff. So that's his courses, the group, the page. So kind of how I talked about the scanner improving us faster, and also the Facebook group, how much knowledge and stuff it was. And even the classes, if you've got money to spare that you can't spend on inventory because you can't find good enough inventory, the classes can be good. If you're willing to work on what they teach you. That's the kicker. You've got to be willing to work. There is no course that anybody sells, whether it be Hustle Buddies or the guy on selling ads or the guy that's making $100,000 by working 1 hour a week, supposedly trying to sell you his course, that you can be successful without working hard at it and practicing it. We didn't go into the first Kohl's and spend $3,000 or $5,000 immediately. It's just like, oh, this brand's good. Oh, this brand's good. Oh, this is the good price for this brand. And you just slowly build up your knowledge. And the more knowledge you have, the more you can spend, because that's how you know how to find products that are profitable. Reselling is definitely a knowledge business. The more you know, the more brands you know that are profitable, what sells well, the better you will do. That also means it takes time. Nobody's starting at zero and then selling $100,000 a month in a month or two. It takes you months and months to build that knowledge. So who is Hustle Buddies for? As we discussed, Facebook group is free. I think everybody should join the Hustle Buddies Facebook group. It is the best knowledge source, free knowledge source that there is out there that I've seen. YouTube, of course, I'm a big advocate for YouTube. It's free. You aren't spending your inventory money on courses. It does take a little longer, but if you're like me, turn on YouTube when I was driving to work, when I was driving home from work, when I was at work doing computer work or whatever, I would have podcasts on or whatever, learning. And then the classes would be beneficial to you if you have a bunch of money, you already have had some success on reselling, but you have more money than you can spend on good inventory. And the downsides of Hustle Buddies. So if you're wanting to go into Hustle Buddies and post a group right now and it be answered in 10 minutes, that's unlikely to be happening. I would say it probably takes 15 to 30 minutes for your post to get approved. Maybe quicker. Sometimes it could take 5-10 hours if it's a borderline question that we don't know if it's good for the group or not. But if it is urgent, we do try to approve it fairly quickly. But all of us that are in the Hustle Buddies group, we do have our own business to take care of and family and all that stuff. So we aren't always there ready to approve. And if you're wanting to get into the Hustle Buddies group and just talk to like Nate or other really, really high people and just message, that is very hard to do. I have personally only messaged Nate and had him message me back once or twice, and I think that's when I got to be a mod. He is very, very hard to get a hold of. He has his own reselling business. He's got a Facebook group with 60,000 people. He's got a couple other Facebook groups that he manages, and a family. So you aren't going to be able to get into DMs and just message people very easily. I did want to add one more thing on what we gained from Hustle Buddies. Oh, okay, it's on here. Private groups. Hustle Buddies is really good to find people that are your similar knowledge level in reselling and even kind of your revenue level, experience level, and get into small groups with them and really grow together. And that way, when one of you guys have an issue, somebody else may have an answer for it. So we did this in 2021. Nate had a Q4 group, and there was, 100 people or so that were in it. There's about 15 of us that are really active right now. And that group has helped a ton. There's about 10 or 15 of us. I could send something in there, and I know within a couple of hours, I'm having another 7-figure seller answer my question. So if you're struggling, or like I did, where you have a hard time because you feel like reselling is real lonely and all that stuff, which is easy to do at the beginning, right? You don't have real coworkers, and if your family doesn't support you, then you don't even have really anybody to talk to about. Hustle Buddies is really good to have groups in and find people that are reselling and talk on their posts occasionally, and then maybe DM them and get to know and help each other succeed. So I definitely do want to say that. That is something that's often overlooked. Other than that, I think that's all for this one. So I will plan on doing the other ones next couple of days, probably. So if you did appreciate this, please like and subscribe. I'm going to try to do this more often. I'm planning on doing all these. It does take a while, so I've been here doing this about an hour and a half, kind of doing outline and all that stuff, trying to learn StreamYard again. So if there's anything that I think would be better for me to do differently to help you learn, please definitely comment that below. Or if there's any questions, I definitely do love helping. That's one reason why I'm doing this YouTube video. So if you have any questions, definitely post them below. I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. Other than that, I might see you in the Hustle Buddies group, or hopefully in the next video. If you subscribe and keep following along, I'd love to have you along this journey. I also do plan showing our process through this. If you've been in the Facebook groups, especially in the more private groups that I'm in, you know I'm very, very, very open with our business and the ups and downs it is. And just like any business, right? It's not all ups and roses and all that stuff. There's some hard months, and I'm pretty open about that. Like last fall, we had some rough months, and we definitely shared it with our group members. And so if you're having a hard time, stick with it. There's the only way to not succeed at this business is getting your account banned or quitting, because there definitely is potential. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video, and have a good one. Take care.